In this video, we'll talk about lambda functions. Lambda functions offers a very simple way of defining a function. And this can be very convenient if we have a very simple function that we might use only once, for example as an argument to another function. And so here we have a very simple function that takes some x and adds 10 to that. So let's convert it into a lambda function. And we start by writing the lambda keyword. Then we write the arguments that our lambda function takes, then a colon, and then we write what the lambda function should return. So in this case, to match the function above, we write x plus 10. So that's now our lambda function object. Let's print that, and it says function lambda. Now, how do we use this function? One way is to just immediately call it. So we pass, for example, 2 in here, then assign the result to some variable, and then print that. And that gives us 12. So that's the function, and here we're calling it. Of course, this is not really useful since for the remaining code we don't have the function anymore. So what we can do instead is that we assign the lambda function to a variable. Let's call that add 10 lambda. And now that we have assigned the lambda function to some variable, we can call the function again with some value, let's say 4, and that works just as intended. We can also add multiple arguments, so maybe x and y. So let's replace the 10 with y, and then we call the function with 4 and 5, and that will give us 9. So here we can add arbitrarily many arguments, and we can also have no arguments. So just lambda and then something that the lambda function will return, maybe hello world. And then we call the function with no arguments, and that prints us hello world. Okay, so what else can we do with lambda functions? One application is sorting things. So here we have a list of various city names, and we can call sorted on this list. And this gives us an alphabetical ordering of all the city names. But maybe we don't want to order the city names according to the alphabet, but maybe to their length. And so what we can do is we can pass a key to the sorted function, and this key will be a lambda function. And so essentially we're using a lambda function to map all these values, and then the mapped value will be used as a key to sort our list. So we write lambda, then x, or also any other variable name. We could also write city name. And then with the city name, we calculate the length. And so now not the city name will be used for ordering, but its length. And as you can see, we sorted from shortest to longest city name. This can also be useful for dictionaries, or in this case, list of dictionaries. So here we have a list of dictionaries that describe the weather in some year with the values max temperature and min temperature. And we can print the dictionary using the pprint function, which makes the formatting a little bit nicer. And so currently the different measurements of year, min, and max temperature are in no particular order. So we can call again the sorted function. And this will actually tell us that the smaller or comparison is not supported between instances of dictionary, which makes sense because how is Python supposed to know how this dictionary compares to that one? And so what we can do is we pass again a key, which takes again a lambda function. And this lambda function looks at every entry, and then we can specify that we don't want to sort by the whole entry, so the whole dictionary, but just by a single value, let's say year. And now the list of dictionary is ordered by the year. The same works for max temperature, so now it's ordered by the temperature, and of course it also works for the min temperature. Okay, we have two more functions that can also take a lambda function. One is the filter function, and to the filter function we first pass a lambda function that will specify the condition that we filter on. So let's say the elements have to be smaller than 2, and then what we filter we specify next, so a list with the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's assign it to some variable and print that. And this will give us a filter object. And to get a list from that, we can simply wrap list around it. And now we have a filtered list with only the values that are smaller than 2. Very similar to the filter function is the map function. And this will use the lambda function to map the values of the list. So if we leave it as it is, it will map all the elements to a comparison whether these elements are smaller than 2. So we get booleans, true, true, and then false, false, false. We can of course also replace this comparison and maybe square our elements. So now we have the squares. Okay, one final note, if we don't turn our map or filter object into a list, we can still use it by iterating over it. So this gives us our map object, and then we can write for element in A, and then we can print the element.